Let's go back in time. 1994, 30 years ago. Susan Smith, a name that was very big in the news. That was as we were just kind of getting into a 24-hour news cycle. No social media, but everybody knew the name. South Carolina woman claimed that her two young sons had been kidnapped during a carjacking. It was a media circus. The nation searching for these kids, making tearful pleas for their safe return. 9 days later, Smith comes out and says, yeah, I drowned him in the car myself in the lake. She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. Well, here we are, 30 years later. And she is going to be making that attempt in November of this year. It'll be her third attempt at getting parole, 2015 and 2020. Both attempts have failed. Joining me to discuss, Robin Dreeke, retired FBI special agent, chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program. Yeah, another chance at parole. I know the father of those kids has been at every parole hearing, very much not advocating for her and trying to keep her back behind bars. But at some point, are those efforts, they're going to fail? Is the state finally going to look at her and go, you've been good in prison. It was just two kids 30 years ago. You're free, which is insane.
So I lived in Beaufort, South Carolina when this happened. I was
Okay.
in Marine Corps. I was a series commander at Paris Island at recruit training. I remember this so well all those years ago because I didn't live too far away.
Mhm.
And Tony, we've been talking about this on numerous shows for the last couple of weeks, and I don't like, and both Gavin DeBecker says it as well as John Douglas, first profile in the FBI. When we as a society start giving more leeway and preference to the not just the accused but the guilty, we've lost our way.
Mhm.
I think the only people that they should be asking whether she should be granted parole is, like you said, the husband and the family members, the victims in this. And since everyone in this is saying no, I don't even think it should be considered.
I don't. What I'm baffled by, and I remember, back then when this happened, everyone was baffled by it as well. 30 years for killing your two children,
I
and the
know.
argument is, oh, it was mental health, obviously there are issues there with mental health, but it doesn't excuse that you killed your two kids and then went on for 9 days lying about it.
So mental health is an interesting thing too, because all these great minds have thought about this as well. The Again, I'm not the legal expert on this one, but being able to claim mental health as a justification for actions, it's so hard to get these days. Lori Day Belvallo, if that lunatic couldn't be found, incompetent because of mental health issues, no one can.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so it still comes down to a choice. Yes, she was abused by her mother and blah blah blah. And I don't care. She, as a human being, still made a choice to take life.
Mhm.
It's her accountability for those actions. And because other people had the same things that happened in their lives and they're not making those choices. So, as much as they have a compulsion to do these things, well, then you know what? Get help,
Mhm.
do something. But she still needs to be held accountable. And most importantly, the victims need to have their words and feelings understood and honored. And
Yeah.
if the victims of this still don't want her to have parole, I don't even think it should be considered.
I'd say ask the dead kids. Oh, there's no response.
No
Looks like
kidding.
you're there. Looks like you're not getting out.
No kidding.
It's just,
And so I'm
yeah,
so sorry to
yeah.
interrupt you. How could it even benefit society by letting her out? Who does it benefit by letting her out except her? And so why would she be given something, a life that she took from two others?
Yeah.
When it benefits no one, it's not like she's going to contribute anything great to society.
No, no, certainly not. It just baffles the mind that this would even be considered. And
Mine
that,
too.
I mean, what is, like you just said, what is the benefit of her getting out? And to say, oh, she's rehabilitated. Look, she did it once. People have patterns of behavior. I'm not going to go say she's going to go drown children in a car. I'm very doubtful that will happen again. But there's something wrong here. She clearly has an ability to take others' lives. A lot of us
Mhm.
don't. At least in any sort of conscious level like that. If you're not in war, I wouldn't put it past her that she'd ruin other lives in some way, shape, or form. Uh, Maybe not drowning in a car, but Why? Why even take the chance and put her into society?
Rehabilitated. Okay, good for you. Who
Yeah.
cares?
What does it
Seriously,
matter?
you still killed 2 kids.
Yeah.
That's why you're in jail for life.
Hmm.
Should be, no parole. Rehabilitated, what's that mean? Well, it means you can not have as much mental anguish while you're sitting in jail maybe?
Good. Then that's
Okay,
fine. But yeah, why out?
that's who cares? Again, the the the, uh, the impact on the victims is what matters most at
Yeah.
this point. And if they say no, I don't even why anyone's considering it. And if our legal system says, well, because a legal system says it needs to consider it, great. This is one of those points where we say, good, we need to fix that system because you killed 2 children and it benefits no one by allowing you out.
Your own children, too, which
Yes.
makes it even spookier. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.